Anyway, the guy at the shop where they're thinking of bringing me in to use me at least occasionally, they also they dabble in compression molding or silicone molds. Like a lot of parts, they don't want hard plastic, or they don't want aluminum shot in. They want parts, soft rubber parts like keypads. On the old phones, you know, they had rubber keypads, stuff like that. A lot of parts are not hard plastic and they can't use hard plastic. So he showed me this one part. You know, we started talking about mold making and he goes, oh God, we could pick your brain there. And he showed me a part for a crankshaft holder, which there's half of it. When the two halves are together, they clamp it together and a crankshaft goes in there. So there's when it's put together, there's what it looks like. But remember, they're two halves. It cannot be made in the solid. It can't. Okay, so I said, oh, how'd you make this part? And they poured it. And I said, well, how long did it take you? To cure it and everything. He said, 12 hours. It said 12 hours. I could be making these in 5 minutes a piece, not 12 hours. You know, and I told him about the heat press, this, that, the other thing. But the thing is, this design like I have, the problem is I just don't do that for free. I don't run around doing everything for free. And so if I sound resentful at times that I have this knowledge, these skills, whatever, and I'm resentful that there's no work here, well, that's why, for good reason. For good reason. Now, by the way, when it comes to design, machining, mold making, you know what gets paid the most? I'll tell you, design does. So to design this mold, I just simply am not going to say, okay, here it is, there you go, there's how you should be making it, because then they could do it, I get nothing. That's why I'm resentful. So let me go over this mold real quick. It would be a compression mold in a heat press. And the material is, you know, rubber. You mix the two parts. It's called RTV, room temperature vulcanizing. You mix it together and then it cures over a period of hours. But you use a heat press, you do it in minutes. Also, the mold would be totally contained. The way they're doing it, they just pour it in and the top part is open. And so that's not how it's done. Okay, so the bottom, there's the bottom and there's the core. Now let me turn off the, it is, let's see, the half here. Okay. There. In other words, the part that I just turned off, that's the part. Okay, this is the mold. Okay, now the bottom plate and the core here stay bolted together. You machine them and you bolt them together, they stay bolted together. In other words, you bolt them together, you machine them separately for machinability, for manufacture, but then you bolt them together. Okay, so there's the, see, there's the core and the bottom plate. That stays like that. That never changes after it's made. Okay, and now here's the cavity. There's the cavity. Now I'll turn the part back on. See, there's the part. You understand the concept? There's the part. Okay, so when the top is put on, it's totally contained. The stuff is poured in there, and you screw down the top, and the stuff squeezes out the sides. So I'm going to turn the part back off. See, the part's off. There's the cavity. You dump in the stuff, mix it around to get the bubbles out, and then you put on the top. Okay, you put on the top and tighten 3 screws down and stick it in the heat press. Bring down the press just to get the heat to it. The pressure doesn't matter that much. Contrary to popular belief, it's actually the heat. You don't really need the pressure, but you press it together at like 400 degrees and it's done in 5 minutes. You take it out, undo the screws that hold on the top, and undo the screws that hold on the cavity, and take it apart, and then there's the part totally exposed, and you just take the part out. First you throw this in a bucket of ice. Throw it in a bucket of ice and it cools it down in a few seconds. And when this mold is done, it will have several cavities, likely 4. likely 4 cavities. So what I did was I drew it one cavity. So let me turn off the top again. So see, it's just one cavity, and also I just drew it visually from memory. He didn't send me the IGES file, but this is his exact part. But that's it. At any rate, they do not know how to do it. They do not know about molding, and they're doing them 12 hours each. So I'll tell them I can do those 5 minutes each. And the time it takes you to do 4, I'll do 100. I'll do 100 in one shift, and they'll be a superior, unbelievable quality. That's it. That's this presentation for this mold, which will be an important one because this will be my first mold that I do for a company, get paid for it, using the skills that I was doing at Motorola and elsewhere. Yeah, I'm resentful that I have the ability to do these things and there's no work here. I go in, they look at my age, throw me out, won't even talk to me. Damn right I'm resentful. It's no wonder my attitude is what it is.